What is up guys, it is JammyDude1. In 2009, Nintendo released a new version of their DS handheld console named the DSi, and it introduced new features that could not be found on the original DS or DS Lite, and amongst these was the DSi Shop, a storefront where you could download huge variety of games and applications. Nintendo states that there were over 500 pieces of software released in Europe alone on the DSi Shop. However, last year, Nintendo announced that they would be closing it down on the 31st of March 2017, which is the day after this video is being uploaded. To commemorate this, I thought I'd take a look back at this particular feature before it is gone forever. So this is a DSi XL actually. The DSi is much smaller, but I got the XL variant. Okay. I've just selected the shop. Ah, that music. Glorious. Connecting to the internet. Please wait a moment. As you can see, the internet is already connected up here. And here as well, there's a little internet connectivity signal here. As well as power and charging. Anyway, it's connecting now. Just gotta wait for it. Also, I do apologise if the lighting is kind of off. Ah, here we go. So it's very similar to the Wii Shop channel, except, of course, it's DSi. So as you can see, we've got some recommended titles here. We can't actually see what the names of them are. Let's take a look at this one. This looks pretty interesting. Nintendo recommended this to us, so it's got to be good, right? What is this? The Mysterious Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Oh no! Released in 2015. Wow, I didn't realise they were releasing software that soon. As you can see, it costs 800 points. That's right, this used the point system instead of showing your actual currency. As you can see, we've got a bit more information here. It's an adventure game for one player. Takes place in 1886. Oh my god, it's the sequel to Order 1886. I mean, it is London as well, so it makes sense. No, this is Jekyll and Hyde. So it costs 800 points. Now, I believe that Nintendo removed the ability to add points early on, quite a few months ago, so unfortunately we can't really buy anything here, but if I remember correctly, I think a lot of the DSi software made its way over to the 3DS shop, so I think that is a way to get DSi games, since you can't get it on here anymore. Ooh, there's some important info. I think this might be about the discontinuation. I'm probably right. About the DSi Shop. Important information 2. Yes, this is about the discontinuation. Yeah. If you have DSi points to spend, you may want to re-download or transfer to a 3DS system. Yeah, 30th of September last year was when they took away the ability to add points, and of course, 31st of March is when you can no longer buy stuff. And you should be able to re-download games at some point. More details will be available soon. Or you could just buy a Nintendo Switch, or a 3DS if you want. Right, let's actually start shopping then. Instead of looking at these awful recommended titles, let's actually get into the storefront and see what it used to be about. So as you can see, we have DSiWare, which is where all the software is. You could add points, there's the shopping guide, settings, you go back to the DSi menu, or the welcome screen, which I believe we were on earlier. Let's have a look at the shopping guide. You know, let's get some assistance in what we can't buy. Ah, yeah, this is just a bunch of tips and stuff. We don't really need to have a look at that. Pretty much stuff that you already know about. Okay, let's go on to DSiWare and take a look at what's available. Ah, yes, so there are different tiers of software that you can get. You can either get free stuff, stuff for 200 points, stuff for 500 points, or premium, which I believe is ranging about 800 to 1,000 points. Let's look at what free stuff you could download. Yeah, there was barely anything. There was Flipnote Studio, which allowed you to do flipbook style animations. It was quite nice, actually. It's a really good tool. Then you got the Nintendo 3DS transfer tool, which allows you to bring all the stuff you have in your DSi to your 3DS. As you can see, I have a 3DS just under my DS Lite. Right, let's go on to page 2. Oh, the DSi browser. You had to download the browser. I wonder why they didn't just build it into the system. Oh well. I suppose you had to buy it on the Wii originally. Let's try find titles. Let's have a look at some of the most popular DSi applications and games that you can download, or used to be able to. Yeah, of course it's the free stuff. The free stuff's always going to be popular. Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Minis March Again, a puzzle game in which you guide minis through a level that you kind of have to take apart and put back together. I have actually played Mario vs. Donkey Kong March of the Minis, which was Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2, and it is a really good game, and I remember seeing this on the DSi Shop and liking the look of it very much. Yes, it says it's puzzle action. I'd say that's pretty much right, and if you can see here the image, that's pretty much what the game looks like, but that doesn't really do the game justice. It's probably fantastic, but unfortunately can't show you because I need to download it. But if we try and download it, this software requires 800 Nintendo DSi points, but I do not have enough DSi points. And if I try and add them, in fact, I probably can't add them, as I will show you in a bit. Let's have a look at some of the more popular titles. 1001 Blockbusters is apparently a really good game. I suppose it's pretty cheap. Titanic Mystery as well. Mighty Flip Champs. Never heard of it. I've heard of Mighty Switch Force. My Aquarium. Art Style. Sound like real heavy hitters. Treasure Hunter X. I'd rather have Monster Hunter, honestly. Oh, Dr. Mario. Oh, Game & Watch. I didn't realise Game & Watch games were on here. It's probably not all of them, just a few. I mean, Donkey Kong Jr., aka Donkey Kong 2, so... it's pretty interesting. Ooh, a WarioWare game. A Mario Clock. For 200 points, you can get a Mario Clock. Nice work, Nintendo. Oh, the original Rayman. Ah, yes, I believe that was originally released on the PS1, but must have gotten a DSi port. That's pretty cool, actually. And then we have another art style game, and Bomberman Blitz. Wow. So yeah, those are some of the most popular titles on the DSi. So there are actually a couple of games in particular that I remember seeing on the DSi Shop, and they really stuck out to me, and I was always interested in them, but I never got to play them. First one I think was called Face Pilot. There we go. So this was the first game that caught my eye, and I distinctly remember looking in the DSi Shop for the first time and seeing this game and being enthralled by it immediately, but I never got it for some reason. As you can see, it's a really great game. So it's basically a Pilot Wings style game, except you can take a picture of your face and you can put it on the pilot, hence the name Face Pilot. Obviously, that doesn't sound very compelling now. However, back when I was like 9 or 10, that sounded awesome to me. Maybe one day I'll give it a try if it's on the 3DS shop. Who knows? It's 500 points, it can't have been that much money. And the second game that interested me many years ago was indeed a little tiny game known as Earthworm Jim, which again costs 500 points. Basically, Earthworm Jim is a 2D action platformer that originally came out on the Super Nintendo, and apparently this is a remake of that game, where you basically play as a worm who has morphed into like an astronaut suit. He hasn't become an astronaut suit, but he landed in one and then gained the attributes of a human, and yeah, it's a really, really odd looking and sounding game, but oh my god, it sounds like a lot of fun, and I still haven't played it to this day, like Face Pilot. Let's see some of the new additions. You know, what's recently been added. There was a game from 2015 that we saw towards the beginning of this video, so it'll be interesting to see. Ah, yeah, there it is. There's the game. So, The Mysterious Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is the newest game that was added to the DSi Shop. What a way to go out. I mean, the Wii U ended with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and the DSi Shop ends with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Wow. And there's 222 pages of DSi games, and I assume that that's everything. I mean, this is newest edition, so I'm assuming that on page 222 is the very first addition to the DSi shop, and let's see if we can get to it to see the first game that was ever added. It was the browser. Right, let's see what the first game was. WarioWare Snapped. So that was the first ever game added to the DSi shop. I have actually played WarioWare on the Wii. I believe it was called Smooth Moves. That was a pretty fun game, but I've never experienced a WarioWare game on a handheld, only with motion controls. And judging from the screenshots, it looks pretty WarioWare to me. Wario returns with more manic minigames made especially for Nintendo DSi. Wow, so use the internal camera to literally make you the star of the show. Oh wow, that sounds pretty interesting actually. And again, it's 500 points, so it shouldn't cost too much. Right, let's see what publishers agreed to have their software put onto the DSi. Of course we got Nintendo, and then we got people like First Playable, 4 Pockets, 505 Games, there's a name I'm familiar with. I wonder if Activision's on. Yes, Activision's on here. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine what they would put on. Mixed Messages. I'm kind of disappointed by that actually. I kind of expected something else from Activision. Maybe like a terrible Tony Hawk game or something, or maybe Modern Warfare Mobilized, I guess. That was a real game, by the way, for the DS. Bandai Namco. Mr. Driller, Drill to Your Drop. EA. Let's see if EA's published anything on here. Oh, I missed it. Electronic Arts. Here we go. I was looking for EA, as in the letters. Electronic Arts have put 7 games onto the DSi shop. Texas Hold'em, The Face Stealer Strikes, which is a premium game, by the way. Littlest Pet Shop. Oh, My Sims. Best game ever. Need for Speed. Yeah, they put a Need for Speed game on here. I wonder if it's any good. I mean, it is premium, so it would be a pretty big splash to buy it. The description, I bet, is nothing but gold. Ooh, those graphics. They look gorgeous. They look absolutely gorgeous. And of course we've got EA buzzwords and stuff like that to describe it. Actually, what they're trying to say is it's a PS1 game, pretty much. Maybe it's a remake of the very first Need for Speed game, Surviving High School. And on that note, I think we have seen enough of the DSi shop. I hope this video has given you a bit of an idea of what this storefront used to be like. I do think it's kind of a shame that they're shutting it down, considering the Wii Shop channel is still available, and that's been around for over 10 years, and this has been around for I think 7 or 8. While of course Nintendo do have other systems to focus on, like the 3DS and the Nintendo Switch, it is still sad to see this old guy go. But hopefully this will allow Nintendo to focus on the newer systems to make them as great as they possibly can be. And to end this video, let's see if we can actually add... Yeah, of course, it says that it was discontinued on the 30th of September. Thank you very much, DSi Shop, for all of the great software that you gave us, amongst all the shovelware. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I've been JamDude1, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Yes, let's go.